Hello, dear students. This is uh, the lecture of data mining, in which we will discuss some of the fundamentals of data mining along with the definition, data warehouse definition, along with their architecture, feature architecture, and data mining. Some more fundamentals. This lecture is very important from for you because that lecture actually explains you what is actually data mining and to proceed on any advanced topic, you must have to know what is its fundamentals, what is its steps, what is actually data warehouse, and how it works. So let's start from the data mining definition. So the data mining definition is very simple. This is knowledge discovery in database, also known as KDD. So if you remember data mining, you must have to remember the term KDD so that you can remember the definition knowledge discovery in database. Basically, the data mining term is a combination of two terms, data and mining. As you know that the mining is the process of extracting something by following different phases or different states. So here we are talking about the data mining. That means we have to follow some of these steps to extract uh, abstract knowledge from huge amount of data, and that huge amount of data is data warehouse. So the process of discovering valuable knowledge is data mining is the process of sorting through large data sets to identify patterns and relationships that can help solve business problems through data analysis. So this is basically data mining. I remember, I repeatedly remember you to remember data mining must keep in the mind KDD. Okay, now this is the process of data mining process. To extract knowledge from data warehouse, you have to follow these steps. First phase is selection process. That means uh, to apply data mining, you must have to know what is data warehouse. So whenever you, once you build a data warehouse, you will apply data mining to extract knowledge from that. So first of all, you will have to select the appropriate data from that data warehouse. Once you select the data from the data warehouse, you must have to pre-process the data. Pre-processing is not a simple process. That process is to clean the data. That is the process of smooth the data, fill some missing values, and some more processes we have to apply over the data to pre-process the data, because we have to convert the data into a required format to apply data mining process. After pre-processing, we will apply the transformation process. It means we are collecting data from different sources. So we have to convert that whole data in a common format. So we have to transform the data in a common platform. Basically, to transform the data, we apply normalization process. Once we normalize the data, we will apply data mining algorithms. Data mining algorithms are classification, clustering, association, or regression. So we will select one of the algorithm as per the knowledge and requirement, and then we get some result after applying that algorithm. That is the result in a theoretical way manner. So it better represent, we will visualize that result in the form of patterns, in the form of graphs, and by analyzing that results, we can get the knowledge. So this is the data mining steps. That question is very important from the examination point of view. So please keep in mind and practice over that. Now, we discuss here, if you have to apply data mining, we must require a data warehouse. So what is actually data warehouse? To remember data warehouse, you must keep in mind data warehouse is a collection of huge amount of data collected from heterogeneous sources. So here two terms are important: huge amount of data and heterogeneous sources. So data which is collected from the heterogeneous sources and are in huge amount will be in data where will be the data will be known as the data warehouse. Officially, a data warehouse is a collection of heterogeneous databases collected from different sources. The definition is very important. You must have to keep in mind that definition. You have to remember data warehouse. A data warehouse integrates various heterogeneous data sources like RDBMS, flat files, and online transaction records. So this is another definition of data warehouse. Data warehouse refers to the process of compiling and organizing data into one common database, whereas data mining refers to the process of extracting useful data from the databases. So there are three different definitions of data warehouses. But if you have to, if you have to keep in mind the data warehouse, what is actually, then you must have to keep in mind that first definition so that you can easily remember what is actually data warehouse. Now, as the definition refers a visualization in our mind, what is the actual visualization of that? What we are saying that we are collecting data from different sources. So that are the different sources from where we are collecting the data, like CRM, that customer relationship management, enterprise relationship planning, ERP system, supply chain management, external sources, and other sources. So we are collecting data from that different sources. But the collection process is not simple, and not we just have to keep in that data in our warehouse. Before keeping that in our data warehouse, we must have to perform extract, transform, and load process. That is the ETL process. So once we perform the ETL process over the different kind of data, we can store the data in data warehouse. And here data warehouse, metadata and data mart will we manage these data warehouse, which we will discuss in the next diagram. So that data will be useful for analysis purpose, reporting purpose, and mining purpose. Basically, will perform the data mining over the data. So here we have different data types like structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data, or binary data. So different kind of sources, from different kind of sources we are collecting the data. So that will be in different types. And here the data will be useful, or we can fetch the knowledge by data filtering, machine learning, data visualization, or analytics dashboard. So different kind of way from where we can fetch knowledge from that. Now, the another simple diagram to understand data warehouse is we are collecting data from the different sources, data pre-processing, that is ETL process, and we are preparing a data warehouse. Here, one term is data mart. Data mart, it means subject-oriented information that you content, marketing, analytics, sales. What kind of data we are storing in data warehouse? That information will be found from data mart. And the data will be useful in reporting, data mining, analytics, as we discussed in the last diagram. Now, we have different kind of diagram to understand data warehouse, which we are keeping in that PPT. So if you have any problem to understand data warehouse, you can refer any of the diagram to understand that. But if you are talking about the three-tier architecture of data warehouse, then you must have to keep in mind that diagram. Here you can see that tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. So in the tier 1, we can see that there we have data collected from the different sources, operational databases or external sources. Once we collect the data from the different sources, we have to apply extract, clean, transform, load, and refresh mechanism over that data to clean that data, to smooth that data. Sometimes we have to remove the noise from that data. By applying that kind of mechanism over that data, we will store that data in our data warehouse. But to manage that data, because data is very huge, so to manage that kind of data, we will use metadata repository and data mart, which we will discuss in the detail in the next slides or in the next PPT. But here, data mart and metadata will contain subject-oriented information and data about data. So, in that huge amount of data, where we will found appropriate data, we can get that information from data mart or data metadata. So, the two processes will be apply here: monitoring and administration. This is a bottom tier. Another tier is OLAP server. So OLAP servers are the different kind of server which will store different kind of information. Basically, OLAPs are the online analytical processing. But if we have multidimensional data, then we will store that data in MOLAP. If we have relational data, we will contain the data in relational online analytical processing, ROLAP servers. And if we have different kind of heterogeneous kind of data, so we will store that in OLAP. We will also discuss that topic in the next PPT. Once we get that, store that in that data in that OLAP servers, by applying data mining, we can get the result. So this is three-tier architecture. That question is another important question from the examination point of view. And you must have to keep in mind that three-tier architecture. If there's a portion of the examination of data warehouse, if you have time and that question is of highly marked, then you must have to mention that diagram and explain that for in the sense of data warehouse. Now we have two terms: metadata and data mart. Both the terms are important. If you are writing about that question, then you must have to mention metadata and data marts in your answer. So metadata are data about data. So if you have to keep in mind metadata, then always keep in mind metadata are data about data. So metadata specifies information about the original data which assist in identifying the nature and features of that data. Now, what is data mart? So a data mart is subject-oriented database that is often a partitioned segment of an enterprise data warehouse. So the both definitions are important. Keep in mind, data mart contains subject-oriented information and metadata content data about data. So remember that. Now we are coming on data mining. Actually, what is data mining actually? So data mining is a process of extracting knowledge, as we discussed in the first slide. What we can classify the data mining in four classes of tasks. First is association rule mining. Second is classification. Third one clustering, and fourth one is regression. Each mechanism provides knowledge, but in different way. If you have to find out the association rules, you want to know the frequent pattern, then you will apply association rule mining. You have to classify the data. In case of in a finance company, you want to know what kind of customer will be more valuable for us. We will apply the classification mechanism. If you have to you have to create the groups of the data, then you will, on the basis of data, then you will apply clustering. And you want to know the relations between the data, then you will apply the regression. In your data mining, there are only three topics: association, classification, and clustering. Now, association rule mining, as we discussed, that is used to find out the frequent patterns. We'll discuss in detail. Basically, we'll use a priori algorithm, appligrowth algorithm, and vertical data format algorithms. In this, here some of the items are we are mentioning here, where we have to find the association between that. Classification is a process where we can will find the classified data by applying different rules, if then else rules, and then we have some algorithms for the classification. Here we are mentioning that for the decision making. Now the clustering is the process of creating some group, as we are discussing, as we are showing in this diagram. We can easily understand by that diagram. Here we can see that some of the clusters here, and some of the data are outside of that cluster. So that data which are outside of the cluster will be known as outlier. And there we will use some algorithms to apply clustering, like k-mean, k-medoid, and some more algorithm. But in our syllabus, we have only two algorithms: k-mean and k-medoid. So there are the application of the detail in the clustering process. Regression is a process. Aggregation refer to a data mining technique that is used to predict the numerical values in a given data set. Basically, this is not the part of your syllabus. We'll discuss separately in another PPT in detail that topic. Thank you. We'll continue that data mining topics in another PPTs and next PPT. Thank you.